I'm Jason Epperson. This is RV Miles, and it's time for the latest in RV and camping news. A few sad stories I want to just rush through off the bat, and then we'll get to some less deep stuff until we get to some real deep stuff. Lots of evacuations and closed roads throughout northwestern Iowa as 13 rivers flooded the region following weeks of rain and 4 years of drought. Some areas got up to 15 inches of rain over 2 days. The devastation is severe and widespread, and a lot of it came on fast. Take the Huset campground at the Huset Speedway just across the state line in Brandon, South Dakota, for instance, where dramatic footage shows dozens of RVs completely flooded in. As the nearby creek rose on Friday morning, campers got knocks on their doors, warning them they should probably get out as fast as possible. Many tried to get their trailers hooked up, but were too late and had to be evacuated via boat. It's probably best to avoid this area of the country for a while to let them recover. The water is still flowing downstream, bringing flooding to other communities. A Missouri couple in their 70s taking the first RV trip they've taken since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic were robbed at a rest stop in Nebraska recently, and both were stabbed by the offender. Gary Weaver died at the hospital where his wife Mary is still recovering. The couple was married for 46 years and spent their retirement traveling across the nation in their RV. The couple stopped at an Interstate 80 rest area in Hall County, and the incident took place just after 7 a.m. The 22-year-old offender was charged with first-degree murder, attempted murder, robbery, and fleeing from the police. He left the scene before police arrived, then fled from Nebraska State Patrol troopers before crashing his car into a river. Police believe he was trying to steal the Weaver's Jeep, which was being towed behind their RV. A California man spent 10 days stranded in the mountains after he got lost on what was supposed to be a 3-hour hike. Lucas McClish, 34, went hiking in the Santa Cruz Mountains on June 11th with just a pair of pants, shoes, a hat, and a Leatherman tool. He quickly became lost, partly due to the destruction of local landmarks in recent wildfires. His family initially reported him missing when he didn't show up for a Father's Day dinner on June 16th, triggering search and rescue efforts. He survived drinking water from creeks and waterfalls he found as he hiked through the park each day, calling for help. And a 4-year-old boy who went missing from a campground at a lake in Fresno County, California on Thursday has been found safe after surviving nearly 24 hours alone in the woods. Members of a search and rescue team found Christian Ramirez around 8 a.m. on Friday, about a quarter-mile away from where he reportedly disappeared the day before after wandering from his family's campsite. His family said that in a matter of less than 5 minutes, he just disappeared. The search and rescue team, Air Support Unit, Forest Service Rangers, and California Department of Fish and Wildlife officers went searching for him in the northeastern area of Huntington Lake almost immediately. Dogs, helicopters, and nearly 70 rescuers searched for Christian throughout the night. Officials say lots of things could have gone wrong in this area, including bears and snakes, but we're thankful to find Christian hunkering down at the base of a tree. Grand Design has officially debuted its Lineage motorhome, the first motorized unit from the Winnebago subsidiary, and they took to New York City to do it. The Lineage Series M debuted at an immersive glamping event in the heart of New York City's Bryant Park. Grand Design says the Lineage Series M is a feature-rich Class C motorhome with superior quality and best-in-class warranty on a Mercedes-Benz 4500 Sprinter cab chassis. Features include modern European-inspired interior design with a neutral palette, square fixtures, dark ceilings, clean lines, and task-driven luxury lighting. As a part of the event, one grand prize winner was flown out to New York City for the experience, which included a $1,500 spending stipend, a glamping gift basket, and 2-night stay in the city. The winner will have their campsite fees at national and state parks covered by Grand Design all summer long. Shipments of Lineage will begin soon with a starting MSRP of $189,000. It's a pretty high-end rig that I think is an interesting competitor in this class. There are a lot of cool things about it, which Grand Design hasn't really put out on their website yet, and I can't get into them all in a quick news roundup, but The Matt's RV Reviews YouTube channel has a full walkthrough for you to check out. I'll link to it in the description. And it just so happens that the sponsor of this week's video is Liquefied RV Toilet Treatment, a product that Matt Foxcroft developed with a chemical manufacturer after he tested dozens of RV toilet treatments to find none he was really happy with. Liquefied has been getting rave reviews from users for its easy-to-dispense bottle, pleasant scent, and the fact that it actually works to help keep things moving in your tank. Now, in the past, we told you they were giving away 10,000 free bottles. Well, those are already gone. But if you go to liquefied.com/free bottle, the website they were using to give them away, they're now going to give you a free bottle with any purchase. You can also pick up Liquefied on Amazon.com. We'll link to both in the description. That's liquefiedrv.com/free bottle to get a free bottle with your next Liquefied purchase. And a little birdie tells me you may start to see them in stores soon. Leisure Travel Vans has introduced updates to their 2025 lineup with some big electrical upgrades. All units will now come with a standard heated 270 amp-hour lithium battery system, 3,000-watt inverter, and 150-amp charger, along with the Truma Aventa Eco air conditioner, which has an integral soft start and is an inverted air conditioner. Those things both make it usable on battery power. But if you're going to do that, you probably want to upgrade to the optional 540 amp-hour battery bank. The whole coach is now on the inverter, all of the outlets, the microwave, TVs, etc. So you can truly use the whole thing off-grid. It's really nice to see more manufacturers designing for off-grid capabilities from the ground up instead of making you get it all done aftermarket. There's also a new upgraded integral smart surge protector with transfer switch and upgraded solar controller. This is the kind of stuff that doesn't look sexy on the lot, but means all the world when you're actually using the thing. On last week's news roundup, we shared with you some preliminary details of the new Starlink Mini dish, which Elon Musk said on X would be half the size of the normal dish, half the price for both the dish and the subscription, and would change the world. Well, in typical Elon fashion, he overpromised and underdelivered. That's not to say that the Starlink Mini dish won't be great, but the preliminary offer that just went out to Starlink residential users, well, it kind of sucks. A select group of Starlink residential plan holders were sent an offer to add Starlink mini dishes onto their account for $599, which is $100 more than the standard dish, which is more powerful and pretty much better in every way, other than its size. The dish is used through a $30 a month add-on plan. So folks who already have the residential plan for $120 add on an additional $30, and they can then take the second little dish with them wherever they go. That part sounds kind of interesting, especially for the select few people that have a dish, don't want to move it, and want a second one for traveling. But that $30 plan is limited to just 50 gigabytes of data per month, and each additional gigabyte is $1. I can go through 50 gigabytes in a day. It's comparable to cellular hotspot data costs, but it's far from game-changing and far from what Starlink already offers. Hopefully, this is just an introductory thing that's designed to bring in some cash from early adopters. But for now, I say there's no real reason to get the Starlink mini dish for most people, unless you're doing some search and rescue type stuff or something. AAA predicts 70.9 million travelers will head 50 miles or more from home over the Independence Day holiday travel period. For the first time, AAA looked at the entire July 4th week, plus the Saturday before and the Sunday after the holiday. This year's predicted number of travelers for that time period is a 5% increase compared to 2023 and an 8% increase over pre-pandemic 2019. That will make this July 4th week the busiest ever for travel. AAA projects a record 60.6 million people will travel by car. INRIX, a provider of transportation data and insights, says that the worst times to travel by car before and on July 4th are between 2 and 7 p.m. Drivers should hit the road in the morning, and travelers returning on Monday, July 8th should avoid rush hour traffic in the morning and afternoon. Drivers in large metro areas can expect the worst traffic delays on Wednesday, July 3rd as they leave town and Sunday, July 7th as they return. INRIX says road trips over the holiday week could take up to 67% longer than normal. Travelers should monitor 511 services, local news stations, and traffic apps for up-to-the-minute road conditions. Finally, if you listen to the RV Miles podcast or our America's National Parks podcast, we've been off for the past week, but we'll be back soon. We, especially Abby, have had a difficult past few days. Abby's dear friend of over 30 years, Beck, was struck by a hit-and-run driver last Wednesday while she was walking her neighborhood picking up roadside trash. She died in the hospital the next day. As her husband John put it, she was taken from us in an act of violence while she was committed to an act of public service. She leaves behind a husband and 3 children and so many friends and acquaintances who loved her and admire her. So we're going to grieve over here a bit, and it's going to take us a bit of time to get back to speed. Abby just returned from Kansas City after saying goodbye, and we hope to have fresh content for you soon. Until then, hold your loved ones close, and please stay safe on the roads. Bye, everybody.